welcome to Knit One, Heart Two,
episode 196.
My name is Sheila, also known as Sheila D37.
And my name is Wendy, also known as Penny Wendy.
And we're going to talk really fast.
So we can get through this because
she's going to pick up her kids.
She has to get out of my driveway, which
is not going to happen.
And it's snowing again here.
The reason why I don't think it's going to happen is because it took me, almost 5 minutes to get into your driveway? Her street is horrible. Yeah. And I have a little Honda Civic.
Yeah,
and you live in a dead end?
I live in a dead end, and they have not bothered to plow it today. And despite the fact that last night my weather app said we were going to be partly cloudy, partly sunny today, it has been snowing since I got up this morning. And
very light, big, fluffy snow.
Yeah, it's not like a storm snow, but I mean, we've gotten like 2 inches since this morning.
Yeah, and I looked at it, and they said up to 5 inches or something.
Like, we need more snow.
No, I don't need more snow. Actually, I hate to say this to people. I need Arctic air. I don't want any melting. I can't have melting right now because I'll be losing a part of my house. I can't have any melting.
They'll come and take care of it.
Well, yeah. That's it for crashes and heartbreaks. Anyway.
All right. So, we have a few shout-outs.
The Knit Along this month through February 28th, or whenever we record after that date, is the little-known patterns.
Yeah,
underappreciated patterns, which is, we've decided 20-ish.
I think I said 30 patterns or less.
20, 25,
30
somewhere
projects
around
or less. On the project page.
So, to do that, A, you got to be a member of our group. B, post the name of the pattern, preferably a link as well, if you can, just so that we can verify it. And somebody mentioned that she was doing a sweater, and she's like 18th on the pattern, so she's hoping to push through it.
Yeah.
So that'll be good.
That's cool.
So that's the Knit Along. We also have a contest.
Yeah, we're doing the Knitting's My Bag contest with this gorgeous bird bag, which, by the way, I tried to buy one just like it in her last update, and I got denied. And she picked out a coordinating skein of yarn from her stash.
Sorry.
And
I'll show it to you later.
And so she is giving that away. There is a contest thread in the group. We will draw a winner for that in episode 197, which is next week.
Picture. The combination is really beautiful.
It's gorgeous. I love the bag. It was sold out when I went into her update. But
so she made another bag?
Yeah, she has, she makes multiple bags of that fabric.
Go to our thread to look at it, but to get a quick glimpse, this is what it is.
It's this gorgeous bright bird fabric, and the yarn is so pretty with it. And I was like, I love that bag, but
I like the yarn.
I ended up getting 2 more different bags, so whatever. I was buying stuff on the internet like there was no tomorrow this weekend.
Because it's called cabin fever.
I know, seriously. It's like you can't go anywhere because there are mountains of snow. Even if you wanted to go somewhere, you can't park anywhere because half of the places where you can park are not plowed, or you can't see like the little lines. The roads are a mess. It's just and going to and from your car is a mess. It's just...
It's not worth the hassle.
It isn't worth the hassle.
I haven't left my house. Saturday, I left my house to do things with my kids. My husband was away the weekend, so I had to take him to swimming. We went to see a movie. Then my oldest son has soccer. Afterwards, we went to the grocery store. It's like when I go out, I go and do everything, and then I'm in. Like today, I'm out because I had an appointment today at 9:30 I had to go to. So I have a list like this big of what I now need to do. I need to pay my property tax, which are overdue. I need to pick up Valentine's Day cards. Yeah. It's like, I'm out now. I'm going to go out. I've canceled a dentist appointment 3 times because that was the only thing I had to do, and it was in a Malden, which is a somewhat city.
Where, by the way, you will not find any parking.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm not fighting it. When I'm back at work, then I'll do it.
They're not trying to keep it clear. There's just so much snow. There's no place to put it. They are dumping snow in Boston Harbor, which
I thought they weren't supposed to.
They have to. They have no other option.
Did you see Governor Baker? They've purchased 2 more snow melting machines.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even funny. They had to shut down the MBTA to give them 24 hours to clear all the snow and ice so they can try to operate on a more normal schedule. Good luck with that because you're getting another 5 inches of snow today.
Yeah, but hopefully they've cleaned it enough where they now can keep up. But who's to say? I mean,
who's to say, if we get one more big storm like this, I don't know what we're going to do.
The problem is, and we know other people have gotten snow. We know other people have probably gotten, in the course of the winter, more snow than us. The problem is, in the course of, 2.5 to 3 weeks, we've gotten 6 feet of snow.
Like, it's just every
there's no
Monday.
settling. My kids are now up to 6 days off. No, 6 days or 5. I think we're actually up to 5 days off.
We're up at 6.
Our town did a 2-hour delay yesterday, and I am so glad that we did that because there was no need for a full day.
But the back roads are so tight here that I can see why they called school, just because we don't have busing.
Yeah.
So there's no way for kids to get to school unless you walk or drive. And driving yesterday would have been a mess. And walking, there's no place to walk. Because at a certain point, when you have 4.5 foot high.
I'm watching your neighbor try and get out of their driveway.
When you have 4.5 feet high snowbanks, some higher, it stops being a place for you to put the sidewalk stuff that you're shoveling. Do you know what I mean?
Well, not only that, it's actually, for driving, it's scary to get out.
You can't see cars coming.
Normally when I leave your road, I take a left. I'm probably going to take a right because the likelihood of me getting hit is less.
Right, because they're so high. You have to pull out very far to even see if somebody's coming.
It's very scary.
It is scary. But the thing is, what are you going to do? There's no place to put the snow. It's just ridiculous. The snow in my side yard is almost as tall as my car.
Yeah.
And that's not the snowbank. I'm talking about the whole level of snow is almost as tall as my car.
So with my snow, we have an addition. It's the same level as the main thing of the snow, but we had a deck that used to walk up to it. So it's probably 5 feet up off the ground. Max yesterday was standing on it, and his head reached the top of my window.
Oh, yeah.
So,
easily.
and I showed anyone who follows me on Instagram, I showed a picture of him jumping off our castle in the back of our yard. I don't know how tall our castle is, but the snow is halfway up the castle.
And he was up to here when he went into the snow.
And he didn't hurt himself.
No.
He didn't even touch the ground. No. So
it's ridiculous.
Anyways, that's our snow. I think we've just went off on a rant for
about
5 minutes.
I think you can tell that I love
done.
winter.
I'm tapping out. Wrestling, isn't that tapping out? I'm tapping out.
I love winter. I love snow, but I like it more spread out. If we had 4 storms like this over the course of a winter, that would be fine.
Because,
but 4 storms like this in 2 weeks... It
would have a chance to settle. It would have a chance to melt a little
bit. So that
we'd have a chance to clean up a little. It's just we've had no chance at all. No. Matter of fact, my husband, we have a 2-car wide driveway. And normally what we've been doing is, so here's our 2 cars. If this part is closest to my house, I've been parking both cars here so that we can snow blow.
Right.
Well, he wants me to do it this way now because we have a 8-foot stockade fence and a shed. It's like it can't handle the snow anymore. So now we're going to be parking this side and snow blowing this side so that when we have a storm, I'm going to park up as far as I can, which means this way, little of a walkway. That's why I never did it. We don't have a walkway to our stairs.
Right.
But there's nothing else we can do. I don't know what else to,
It's just, every time it snows more, even Sheila's like, oh, it's only going to be 5 inches, which is something that you say when you keep getting 24 inches every time it snows.
I just texted my boss when I'd be back. Sorry.
And, but every other inch of snow is just adding insult to injury.
It
and
is.
We're supposed to get another storm Sunday and Monday.
No, I looked into it. So far, it looks like it's going to be light snow.
It's going to go away.
Yeah, I think it's not going to be as bad
as
I don't know.
We didn't know we were having snow today. It made no mention of that until this morning when we were actually getting snow. And her phone app still says she's not getting snow in her town, but it's been snowing.
Oh no, it's been snowing since I woke up, since my kids went off to school. It's very light. That's the good thing. This is not heavy March snow. It's very light and fluffy.
Yeah.
But we just have no place to put it. So, all right, that's enough about snow.
I know.
We
Sorry. We've been trapped in the house for days.
Whenever that takes
And
place.
I want to say thank you to Blueberry Chick on Ravelry, who has a blog at www.beadsisters, BEDESISTERS.blogspot.com. .com. She shouted out our podcast on her blog, so thank you very much. That was very nice. All right, so on the dance card.
Wendy goes first.
I don't have much on the dance card. I have this good old sock. Still not much more done.
Call it stocking, please.
Stocking.
Because you're not going to be wearing it as a sock, and I keep getting it confused.
Okay. My Christmas stocking.
There you go. Thank you.
It's not...
now, is there a reason why you're not working on it other than...
because it's fiddly. Because I had to rip back a bunch of... It's Intarsia in the round. I had to rip back a bunch of stuff. So I have all
basically
these
it's in timeout.
And it is in timeout just because recently I just haven't had the patience to sit down and figure out where I am and pick it back up. It's not because I have grown to dislike the project. It's just that it got in a mess when I had to rip it back, and I'm just like, right now I feel too overwhelmed with everything to be like fixing it. I'm just like, ugh, I'll deal with it later. So that's in here, and it has no progress. It's the Bucilla Christmas stocking pattern. It's in my project page, and I'm knitting it out of Red Heart Super Saver.
Now, Bucilla was a name brand of a yarn, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And my mom actually made the kit. For those of you who haven't watched the show before, my mom made the sock kit when I was a child. So it will look like this, but I am knitting it in a much heavier weight.
Yeah.
So that mine is much bigger.
I like yours.
I know, I like it. It's more Christmas stocking shaped. I like big stockings. We put a lot of stuff in our stockings. We do big stockings.
We have handmade stockings. They're not knitted. My sister-in-law, who is my former sister-in-law, sewed them for when Cam and I got married. Then she made one for when we had Max. By the time we had Zachary, I think they were separated. I had asked her to make me one, but she never replied. So we took my father's name off of his and put Zachary's name. My father was fine with it.
He didn't care.
But the only thing is Zachary's matches ours and not Max's.
Yeah.
Because it was made for an adult. Max has M&Ms on his. But they're big like yours. They're very wide. And I love it because Cam and I, we don't do a lot of gifts, but whatever gifts we do, we just shove in the stocking.
Yeah.
So it's fun. Wide ones are better.
We do. Stockings are big in my house. We don't spend a lot of money on stockings, but we put a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
Like my mom and I will go to the dollar store and find a bunch of weird stuff and stick it in there, books and videos and candy. And it's like the fun, weird stuff that you put in there.
That was when growing up with my father, because my parents were divorced, and we usually had our Christmas the day after with my father. The three of us would all sit on the couch, and because it was the day after, the excitement was tamed.
Yeah.
So we were more at a leisurely pace. It took us the whole day to go through Christmas with my dad because we didn't rush through it. Yeah. We had so much fun going through the stockings.
It's
and
fun.
The cheapest stuff that my father got used to be the fun stuff. You know, like a yo-yo, or do you remember I think we called them skippers or something like that? You'd go like this. They had puddle jumpers, we called them.
Oh, yeah.
I remember doing that in his house. We were all ducking because there were 3 of them flying around. So, I mean, the stockings to me are the best.
Yeah, and it's just full of, like, silly, funny stuff, inside jokes. We do that. The second thing I have on the dance card is my Hitofude cardigan. I think I've done
a little bit of progress.
One more, maybe 1 or 2 more repeats.
I think it's 2 by the looks of it. But.
I did a bit more. It's getting there. If it was blocked, it would be... It's hard to tell because it's curling up, but if it was blocked, it would be about that big. I'm enjoying it. It's going along slowly. This pattern is so easy to memorize that I don't have to look at the chart or anything. I can just knit on it. It's like really easy to know what pattern you're on. I'm just about, I think I have like 1 more repeat and I will be halfway or almost halfway on the sleeve. It gets folded over. So that's exciting.
Oh, good.
And it's in Enchanted Knoll Farms sock, superwash sock in the Margaritaville colorway, which I love this color green. So pretty.
It's really pretty.
Yes, I love this color. So, and I love this yarn. It's very structured. It's showing the detail. The stitch definition is really good. Even with blocking, it's going to be so pretty. So, that's it for my dance card.
I have two things on the dance card. I'm finishing one up right now. So I made a joke last week about a bunch of us doing an informal Blue Moon Fiber knit along, and I did that little earbud cover.
Yep.
And I was teasing about how that was my Blue Moon knit along. It's not. What I did do, I've had this yarn in my stash for a while. It's the Blue Moon Fiber Rocks. Yeah. Blue Moon Fiber Art Socks That Rock Heavyweight. It's more of a light worsted weight. It's in the mudslide colorway. I bought this off of Ravelry D-Stash because I always wanted to try the heavyweight. A lot of people have made socks with it. I can't find a comfortable needle to make socks with it. It's not as stretchy as a typical worsted weight would be.
Because it's more like a sock yarn, but it's so thick that I don't think it would be hard to make.
A lot of people do it. I don't know how they do it.
Fat socks out of that.
Which is fine, because I like worsted weight socks. I'm going to be making some more, because sometimes when you're in the house, worsted weight is just what you need. But I made this pattern before. It's Urbana by Stephen West, and I just wanted to finish the row. So I've gotten this far so far, and it's Blue Moon Socks That Rock. There's a little keyhole, so it's a scarf that gets tucked in. I made it out of Cascade Eco Wool last year. And it's funny because I made it out of similar color. It was brown. It was brown Eco Wool. But this is size 9, and that's actually larger than what the pattern calls for. And I'm doing the small because it calls for 300 yards. This is 350. It's nice and soft and squishy.
Yeah.
So the pattern has you making both the first stitch and the last stitch. But what I'm doing is Jared Flood's?
Yeah, Jared Flood's.
Where you put the yarn in front, slip a stitch, and then you knit it the first one to give it a nice clean edge. It's going to be a little tight, but I'm okay with that. So that's where I'm just modifying it a little bit. I was just talking to Wendy. I'm not a big fan of crocheting. I bound off less stitches than what it called for to make the keyhole loop because it's a different yarn, and I felt last time that the keyhole loop was too big.
You want it to be kind of tight so it won't pull out when you're wearing it.
Yeah. So, but the problem with doing that is you have to cast on the same amount of stitches, and there's no way of doing one that looks equal.
Not on the fly like that.
And I think that's why they do the crocheting edge to give it a nice, I know. My caffeine level is really, to give it a nice clean look. The other issue I was having is that when I was trying to cast on, you get this little loop.
Yeah.
Like a bigger loop. So again, I think that's why I love these colors together.
I do too. I think
it's called Mudslide. I just really love the brown, and it's so soft, and I'm glad I do have 2 more skeins in this heavy weight that I got by accident at one time. One is going to have to be re-dyed. Maybe I'll do that with the RIT dye that I did.
Yeah, you should.
Anyways, one's going to have to be re-dyed or over-dyed, I should say.
It's awfully close to my eye.
That's what my son says when I'm knitting on the couch. He's like this. I'm like, don't sit so close. So this is one. This is Urbana with the Blue Moon Fiber Arts heavyweight. This is my Blue Moon's knit along.
Yay.
Because I've been wanting to use that skein for a long time. I just didn't know what to do. So the second one is part of a crush and a heartbreak. So I showed you my sock that I was making for my oldest son, who's got a size 11 foot. I had to rip half of it out. And the reason is, and if anyone has knit socks, you've probably come across this maybe once, depending on if you make them for yourselves or if you make them for other people. So short row heels for me have always been the fish kiss, whatever, the FLK, whatever the name. I always get it wrong. Fishlips Casillo, that's it. Seems to work out nice because it's just got enough of a stretch for me that it's comfortable. I always like the gusset, but my son has high arches. I had knit him the size 64 foot, and that fit really well, but as soon as I got to the heel, it didn't fit. It was really tight getting over his heel. And it's because he has a high arch. So what I ended up doing is ripping all the way out to halfway and starting my gusset for a Spice Man sock, which is if I have to do toe up with a gusset, that's my go-to sock. It fits really, really good. So I've tried this on him, and because I was concerned that this was too tight, but this part fits him really, really well. And I think the gusset's going to fit him really well. I measured again how much I have to go. So the pattern only goes up to size large, and that only goes up to size, I want to say 9.5, 10 for men.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's size 11. And if anyone has done the pattern before, it's easy enough to figure out your sizing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you basically, it's a paid-for pattern, so I'm not going to give it away. But it tells you where to go to start your gusset. And from there, you just basically knit until probably a 1/2 inch away so that you can turn the heel.
Right.
And it just works. It gives it a nice gusset. And I have, I think, like another 1/2 inch or 1 inch to get to before I would turn the heel. But it's a heartbreak because I now will need definitely a second one of these. I am going to do the heel in the black. I was looking at someone's Spice Man, and I know when to start the black.
Yeah.
To do that. So it's going to have the heel turn in black and the heel flap in black.
Oh, that'll be good.
And then I'll pick up the stitches. I might pick them up in black depending on where my yarn is, because I'm going to try not to cut. But I'm not sure if that will work. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've done it, because I've been doing the Fishlips Casillo a lot.
Yeah, I like that.
So he's excited. He actually, the socks that I made, this is Patton's Croy. The socks that I made out of the Patton's Croy, the rag, he's been wearing.
Yeah.
And just to give you an idea of how much, so this is probably about where I would do it to do my own foot. I would probably start turning the heel close to maybe 2 more rows, and then I'd start turning the heel. Yeah, when I look at mine, he's wearing the sock above the heel. Like, I'm like, don't wear my socks, please. If you want to wear my socks, wear my worsted weight at least, because that stretches a little bit more. I don't want him to destroy my socks as bad as it is. I don't want him to destroy it. Although, if any socks he does wear, that one's probably the best because it's got more wearability to it. Right. Because it's got the nylon to it. So I just got to punch it out. It's just... Good thing is these stripes are really nice. I don't mind looking at them. But there's no way I could do 72 stitches in this. So he's going to have to suck it up with 64.
Too bad, buddy.
And otherwise, he will get worsted weight. And I told him, I said, I can't go any bigger than this.
No.
So the next pair of socks I'll make will have to be like a sport weight sock. So I'll have to try. The thing is though, you can't find sport weight in stripes that much.
No. It just really doesn't come that way.
It doesn't, and I understand, why. It's just that, some people who've got big feet don't want to cast on 72 stitches to make those people socks.
Yep.
So
sadly.
anyways, that's all that's on my needles. So I got socks, and I got a mindless scarf.
Cool. So, rate your date. I have one date to rate. I finished today, or actually last night, my sad Panda socks.
Pretty, eh?
I love how they came out. It's funny. I did not do them to match, but they kind of do.
Almost. The heel comes out the same. Which is
sort of the same. It's if you
slightly
knit it,
different.
If you knit it, you would know that it's slightly different, but it came out close. Yeah, it's funny.
That is funny.
So, sad Panda. I loved knitting these socks. Thank you, Lisa from Fiber Nymph, so much for this yarn. This is her bedazzled base, and I freaking love this sock yarn so much. And I did the Rise and Shine stitch pattern from the Rise and Shine stocking. She has a really unique construction in that pattern. I did not follow that at all. It's in my project notes, or if I don't know if I have a project page for this, but I will by the end of today. I do my usual toe. I just use the stitch pattern on the top of the foot, Fishlips Kiss heel, with 10 stitches in the center as my preferred heel. My heel is narrower than my toe base, so I always go a couple stitches down. And then I knit about an inch above the Fishlips Kiss heel before I start doing the pattern all the way around. And I just ended it with a 1x1 rib. And I make the leg the same length as the foot, basically. So that's another pair of socks for my sock drawer after the Great Month Wars of 2014. So this is my third finished pair of socks in 2015.
Good.
Yep. I'm happy with it. And that's all I got to rate.
I've got nothing.
That's okay. You had a lot last week.
Yeah. Just so you... I think I last knit Saturday. Today is Wednesday. The last couple of days, my mind frame is not...
I haven't even been knitting either because it's like having this weather sucks all of the life out of you. I don't feel like doing anything. I just want to lay here. And a part of that is there's no sunshine.
Have you been using your lamp?
You can't go anywhere. Yeah, I've been using my lamp. But you can't go anywhere. If you do have to go somewhere, it's such a production that it's a nightmare. It sucks the life out of you.
Really does. Me, I have to honestly say, I've been drowning my sorrows in books because of what's been going on at my house.
And I've been playing video games on my computer, and I have not done that for years. But I just want to do something where
you get out of it for a little bit. You get out of reality for a little bit. As much as it sounds horrible, the reality of this winter sucks.
We cannot stress how much it sucks. I think you might know from the crazy way that this is coming out that we're losing it down here in the frozen tundra
of New England.
And for people who are not familiar with New England, this is not a normal winter for us. When I grew up in Minnesota, this was a normal winter. But because this was normal, it was coped with much better.
Right.
They had better systems in place for removing snow, and it just you had better clothing and better cars, and you were prepared for this.
Tell you, my kids are loving the beanie hats that I've made.
Yeah, I bet.
You can't keep them on their head. You can't keep them off their heads, and I've been thinking about making myself one.
I think you should. In fact, in future dates, I'm going to talk about that. So that's it for Rate Your Date. Future dates. My future date. First of all, I told you last week I was going to knit another pair of socks. This time I'm going to be using my tumbleweed yarn in Sugar Skull.
Can't wait to see how that looks out.
It's so pretty. I have never knit with this yarn before, so I'm curious to find out. I see it's got a couple of slubs, but
even Blue Moon has that. So
every slubs are in everything. So I'm excited to see what this is going to be like and what her yarn is going to be like. It's a new one for me.
Can't wait to see the colors when they.
I think
and
the
it's
colors
striping,
are going
right?
to be. It's self-striping.
Can't wait to see it. I know.
I'm excited. This is a very strong, dark self-striping colorway. So I really have to think about what I want to do with it. I might go back to either Skip or that other one that I really like doing.
What about the Mystic? That one, the Mystic Spiral from Josh Reeds,
oh,
right?
Yeah,
that would be
good. That would be interesting. I don't know if I feel like doing something that fiddly.
Oh, all right.
I have another pair of that neon stuff that I did my other Mystic Spiral in that I was thinking I would do that one in again because I do like that sock pattern quite a bit.
The Jack.
That's the one I'm thinking of doing. I think
really
Jack is the one that I'm going to do, but I have to look.
You know what? I think I'll show you something that I think might look good in that too.
I have to look, but I am thinking I want to do something sort of mindless because I have not been knitting a lot either because of, I don't know, the snow has sucked my motivation away.
It really has. It's the only thing I can think of.
I think it's
because
just
either that or
fever.
For me, it might have been that I had knit so much last week that I have issues with my hand, my thumb, and I've come to realize that purling makes it worse.
Oh.
So that's why I've been sticking with knitting. So that, I don't know, I think that might have been the reason that I just couldn't do it anymore.
Well, the other pattern that I'm going to make, can you look it up for me?
I suppose.
I'm going to spell it.
Hold on.
My friend Lois, Knitting is My Bag, is making this hat, and it is so freaking gorgeous that I have to make one. Q-A, I'm telling you, N-I-K.
The other reason I look at you is because it's very rare that you see a Q without a U.
It is a word for snow.
Yeah, pretty.
And it was designed by Amy King, who is Spunky Eclectic. And you got to show, this is what you do 3 colors. You don't have to, but you can do 3 colors. She's got it here at black, white, and like a hot pink. But you have to look at the top of the hat is what is so beautiful about it. It's so pretty. It's like a snowflake on top of your head. So I'm thinking of doing this in black, white, and pink, or in brown, white, and red. Depending on what I looked in my stash. I got stuff in my stash. I can't remember what. It's an Inuit word for snow.
It's worsted weight too.
What?
It's worsted weight too, which is nice.
Yeah, I have worsted weight, but I was thinking instead of doing the ribbing, that I might do
the
beanie inside, and then do the picot edging that you suggested. Remember?
I know.
And then, but with the color work, like work it out. Maybe do far apart picots or something. So I don't know.
Well, it's funny that you were mentioning that. Are you done with your future?
I am. That's my other future date.
So what I was thinking of for future is, you remember the cable cowl that I made?
Yeah.
I wore that today as a hat style.
Mm-hmm.
What I did is I haven't woven in the ends. It's in the car because after a while you do get hot.
Yeah.
So I didn't weave in the ends, so I just tied a knot because I was going out somewhere to an appointment. So I just tied a knot so they wouldn't be hanging.
Yeah.
And I put it on and I folded it up. It looked actually really good.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that if I did a headband in a similar style to the line beanie, but with the cables. So it would be, but I'd have to talk to you about it because cables bring in
a little bit, yeah.
A little bit. So I would have to, I think, do it in such a way that increase for the cables and then decrease.
Maybe, yeah.
So I don't know. I might just...
You want a little negative ease in your headband, though.
I know.
Generally for hats, it's 2 inches negative ease. Did you know that?
No, I did not. So I don't know.
Yep.
We'll see. I need to crank out some socks. I need to crank out using my Blue Moon socks. Yeah, my goal, I think it's been a while besides this that I've used it, and I think
you need to get
I
on
need
that.
to at least I think I said my goals were to use my Blue Moon stash more. I think I really have to at least use a skein, if not once a month, at least once every other month, just to help with that stash.
Kind of like
down.
me with my spinning. I should spin. Which brings me to Whirlwind Romance. No. Moving on.
Okay.
Baubles and Bling. I have one. During my crazy cabin fever frenzy of shopping, I have to show you this. Now, first of all, if you just were paying attention, I have bunny rabbit sock blockers. I love bunny rabbits. When I was in high school, my boyfriend at the time called me Bunny because I loved bunnies so much. And when I got my stuff for doing my projects, I bought a bunny, it's all tangled together, a bunny thread holder and a carrot because I thought that was so cute.
Mm-hmm.
So going along with that theme, when I saw these jackrabbit scissors, I had to get them.
Now, you bought something else other than that, right?
I did, but it didn't come. It's from a different vendor. I bought from multiple vendors.
I know, but was it another one of the...
I did. I bought another... You'll see it when it comes, but I bought another needle minder so that I can have 2 projects going. I got a bunny rabbit needle minder. I was
going to say, I knew it
and
was
then I got a
bunny.
different bunny rabbit thread holder.
Okay.
That's different. It's a different bunny than the one that I already have. But these are... cute little jackrabbit. You can see his little tail and his little bunny ears. I had to get them. I've never seen jackrabbit scissors before. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, they're always usually the crane.
Usually it's a crane. I've seen fish. I've seen a crane. I just on a whim, I searched for bunny scissors and this came up and they're super cute. So I bought them. They're going in my little kit because I don't even think I have crane scissors now.
I don't know.
Maybe I do. I have to look. No, I just have plain scissors right now. So I'll have bunny scissors. I'm very excited.
Whoa.
So that was my Baubles and Bling for this week.
I got nothing. I don't think I showed you my Baubles and Bling. My Baubles and Bling is really just going to be that Blue Moon's Fiber Arts Club every other month. So I won't see another one until March, and probably not until the end of March. That's what she usually does. So that's I got nothing.
I have to mention that my mom went out and bought a sock ruler after watching our show last week.
Oh, did she?
She loves it, yeah.
Somebody mentioned that they bought one. I think Lois might have mentioned that they bought one, and they mentioned that they had seen it on our...
Yeah.
So just so you know, the sock ruler, I keep losing it.
It's in my bag.
I will say the one thing about it is it's a 10-inch ruler, and it's, for me, not easy to keep in, like, this is my typical bag for knitting socks. It's a small bag. Unlike Wendy, I don't have a ton of bags.
Yeah, I keep them
generally
this size or a box bag this size.
So
for me, it works great.
Yeah, it doesn't work so good for me, but I did use it to, so somebody asked me about my size 11 socks, and I used it to measure my gauge and my row count, just so that I could help her out. It wasn't the best, but it worked, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So I really enjoy it, and I like the fact, again, that you can just put it in your sock.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And that's sockruler.com.
Yeah, my mom saw it, and she was like, I need that. So she bought one, too.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I was like, oh, yeah, you would like that.
Yeah, anyone who knits socks, it's
actually really handy.
And considering what... Do you have one on you? You don't.
I'll grab it. It's right over here.
For anyone who knits socks frequently, it really is a good thing to have. It's a sturdy plastic. And like we said, you can either put tape on it to tell you where to knit to for the next person, or put a marker on it, like a Sharpie. That's what I'm thinking. I couldn't think of it.
I love it because I can make it have negative ease if I want.
Yes.
Like...
You can pull it up a little,
You can make it have negative ease more easily than if you're like spreading it out.
Spreading it out and trying to hold it with one end. And it's it's for what we spend on our socks in general, the yarn that we spend, for most of us, not all of us. I mean, the Patton's Croy is inexpensive enough, but for Blue Moon,
yeah,
it's worth the $10 that you have to spend on it, I think.
Yeah, I love it. It's an excellent
thing. I just got to find a way of
2 thumbs up. Would buy it again.
Yeah.
So crushes and heartbreaks. My crush, I think you already know what our major heartbreak is, so I'm not going to rehash the whole hatred of the depth of the snow. My crush is, I do have my treadmill.
Oh, yay.
Yay! Turns out you can fit that treadmill in my CRV. When you were
mentioning it last week, I was thinking if you didn't have someone with you, but obviously you had to at the time because it was the two of you.
Well, the whole story is we went together to buy it initially. They didn't have it in stock, and they said it wouldn't fit in our car, so we had ordered it to be delivered. Then the first delivery got canceled by the snowstorm. Then the second delivery...
Do you think it would have actually been delivered that first snowstorm, or do you think that whole thing would have
been... Who even knows? Sears delivery people are so messed up that it's not even funny. They randomly canceled our second delivery despite calling us and reminding us about it twice, and then told me I lied about it. So then I said to Jim, go down there with the car and see if you can just fit it in the car with just you. He didn't want to do that, so we just canceled it. We got our money back, which took forever because they couldn't find the guy that had the key to the drawer to authorize them to take the money out. It was just a nightmare. So then we looked around for other places to buy them. And we went to Walmart, where they have a very similar model, basically by the same company. There's like Nordic Track and Proform are like owned by the same conglomerate.
Oh, all right.
So we went there, looked at the identical model in a Proform, had a couple of things. I like the one that I have the best, but I was like, I'm not going to Sears.
That was the one from Sears,
yes,
right?
And apparently Nordic Track sells this version at Sears. I don't think you can get it anywhere but Sears. So we went to the Walmart, and we actually brought a tape measure with us in the car, because in Walmart you can see the packaging.
Yes.
So we measured the box. We didn't buy it, but we measured it, and then we went back out to the car, and we realized that if the front seat was pushed all the way forward, it would fit in our car no problem. It just means that, my husband was with me at the time. Again, he could have laid down in the back seat next to it, like in the back of the CRV. We weren't doing that. So we went home.
Ticket waiting for to happen.
We weren't going to do that. So we went home, and then I said, if we can fit it in the car, just go over to Sears and buy the one that I want and have them put it in the car. So on Saturday last week, he did that. He went over there. They rang in the wrong model 3 times. 3 times he drove over to pick it up, and they said it wasn't available in the warehouse. 3 times he had to go back and have it rerung in until they finally worked it out. Sears, you need to get your act together.
Which Sears? For Route 1?
Yeah. Saugus, Route 1. Get your act together, people. But ultimately, they tracked it down. We got it home.
Good.
Jim and I humped it into the house. It weighs like 200 pounds.
Oh, I'm sure.
We did it in pieces, and we put it together, and I love it.
Good.
So that is my crush. My other crush is I am not having stomach problems anymore for the last 4 days, so I think it was a virus. And other than that, I don't seem to be having any side effects, knock on wood. So I feel pretty positive now about taking that medication. I don't know what's going to happen. I read that you don't really peak in the side effects until like 2 or 3 months in.
Okay. Which makes sense, actually.
I don't know, because I don't really understand how it's operating. I think it takes a while for it to totally shut off your hormones, so I don't know. But anyway, I feel good right now. I have my treadmill. That is my crush. My other crush is my baby turned 9 yesterday, and he had a good birthday.
Good. So my crushes and heartbreaks. This is a double-edged sword on this one. I go back to work on Friday, the 13th. Hopefully that won't bite me in the ass.
Don't fall again.
So I go back to work on Friday the 13th, which is good because I am going stir crazy. I do miss being home, though. It was fun in the sense of I didn't get a lot done because I couldn't do a lot, but it was fun to be home with my boys. But I'm glad to get out. We need the money, unfortunately. We need the insurance because I think otherwise I would probably do a part-time again. But the insurance is through me. And
it's good insurance.
It is really good insurance. I can't claim anything bad. But so I go back to work on Friday. I'm doing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It happens to be my work weekend, which I'm good with because if I keep my work weekend the same it is, there will be no issues in October. Good. I don't want to change my work weekend.
That's good.
And then I have Monday off, which will be good. And then we'll just go.
Since we might get another 2 feet of snow then.
But it will be good in the sense of working 3 days, having a day off, working 4 days, having a weekend off.
Yeah,
and then
that'll be good.
Because I go back to the orthopedics on Friday. They did say it's going to take like 6 to 8 weeks to heal, so I don't know if I'll be in a boot, maybe a smaller boot or whatever. But I had to find I couldn't go back to work with an open toe. So their suggestion was coffee canister lid. You know, the big like Maxwell House? Mm-hmm. A plastic like that. Well, I don't drink coffee like that. So I pulled my lid off of a hot cocoa container.
Yeah.
It's a little small, but I did it. And then I put a strip of duct tape over it.
Yeah.
Just to keep, because it's open just a little bit on the sides, just to keep basically the snow from coming in. And then when I get there, I have to wear some sort of bootie, which I actually need to make a phone call to make sure that will be there on Friday. So I'm excited to go back. I miss my coworkers. A lot of my coworkers have texted me saying they miss me, which is nice because we each have our own anxiety about certain people. My anxiety is like displeasing my coworkers, I guess is a way of saying it.
My anxiety is that I'm going to accidentally hurt somebody's feelings without knowing it.
Yeah, that's not my anxiety is that's the basic way of saying is displeasing my coworkers.
She's afraid that they're going to think she's a slacker.
Yes, because we have slackers there, and I don't want to be grouped in the same group. Now, obviously, that's not the same thing because the reason I am out is a whole different reason why other people are out.
But she just worries.
It's how my mindset is. So that's my crush / heartbreak because, my kids are on vacation next week too. But I have Monday off, so does my husband. So we'll figure it out. Now, my heartbreak, it goes with the snow. Again, if anyone follows me on Instagram, you can get a taste of my heartbreak. we have an addition that we put on over 10 years ago. And I don't think, Cam and I are new to home. This is our first home. We've never did it. Nobody's like, my parents aren't around to help us out, really.
Right.
So when they did the addition, and we weren't there because it was during the time that Zachary got sick. So we weren't really, I think most places do. So the addition is, here's our house. It was 2-bedroom Kate. We threw an addition on the outside. And most additions, I think, go a little bit into the wall, just a little bit, to kind of like a tongue and groove type of look. Well, what's happening is the ice that's coming from our roof up above on the second floor is dripping down into the seam where our new addition is.
Yeah,
and it's dripping into the plaster and everything. So the good thing is we have filed a claim with our homeowner's insurance. And the other good thing is that, so we have somebody coming out next week to appraise the damage. And it's our homeowner's insurance is a $500 deductible. Not a problem. We'll deal with that part. It's more than $500 worth of damage because it's damaging the plaster. It's dripping into a supporting beam of the house. So I can deal with that. What I can't deal with is the fact that we cannot stop it right now because of all the snow on the roof, all the ice. My husband was supposed to clear some of that off today. And again, I am limited to what I can do because I am not getting on the roof.
Not with that boot, no.
Period. I don't like getting on the roof at all. It's just, so I've had to send my son up on the roof over the weekend. I don't like that either. But with the amount of snow that there's out there, God forbid he falls, he wouldn't do that much damage to himself.
No, probably not.
And the roof of the...
It's probably the safest time you could ever be on the roof.
The roof in question is not a full roof. It meets up to our second floor because we don't have anything above our addition. It's just this. So all the damage that is coming in is the seam. And it's getting worse. And it's like to the point where I am so anxious that I'm not sleeping.
Yeah.
I that's why I'm like reading. It's like I want to get out of it. It's the only way I can get out of that
worrying.
The headspace to get out. So last night I was reading before I went to bed. I turn it off because I'm tired. And then all of a sudden I think of something. And I'm like, shit. Pardon me. Sorry. Swear. All of a sudden I'm like, oh, shoot. My mind goes right back there. And I get very anxious. My stomach gets,
yeah.
So it's probably a good thing that I have to go back to work.
Yeah,
to get my mind off of it.
And to know that you're making the money, so if there is any expense, you can cover it.
Yeah, it makes me regret getting Blue Moon, but I don't.
Don't regret that. Oh my God.
I will always regret spending money where it is not absolutely necessary. So that's my crushes and heartbreaks.
Gossip and innuendo. No contest this week.
No drawings yet.
No drawings this week. Next week we are drawing for that Knitting is My Bag contest.
And then we won't draw again until the end of the month, right?
Right. Then unless something comes up, we never know what's going to pop
True.
up. But we'll probably do the next Knitting's My Bag giveaway in March.
Yeah.
So spread them out a little bit. I'm excited to see who wins that. That's a nice thing. And
Lois is going to take care of the shipping for us, right?
Yes, Lois will be shipping them out directly.
We appreciate that, Lois. I just went to the mailbox. Oh, quick little thing. Anyone who has won anything from us, and there were only 2 people that were... I had contacted the first person from December?
Yeah.
I think, and told her why there was a delay. She was fine with it, and then the January's knit along. We only found out last week anyways.
Right.
Everything is mailed out. I am all up to date. Yes! So there is one person who I had to ship overseas, which takes a while. Just bear with us. Bear with the postal. So hopefully everybody gets everything.
The other thing I wanted to mention, is Angelia, the designer who is giving the patterns away. She's on a cruise.
Oh.
I don't know if she's checking her emails, so if you didn't get your pattern from her,
just bear with her.
She'll be back from her cruise like next week, I think. So, but yeah, she is off enjoying herself. So I don't want to. I sent her the stuff, but I don't know if who knows. On your vacation, are you checking Ravelry?
You might be checking Ravelry, but you may not be able to access.
Yeah, you don't know what her Wi-Fi situation is like.
Exactly.
I just wanted to say that. I don't. Usually I hear back from her, and I haven't, so it may be that she just hasn't gotten that, and I didn't want people to worry that they're not going to get their patterns. So I think that's it. The list of upcoming events is on the show notes, and I think the next event is at the end of February, and it is Spa in Maine. I might go to that, but if this weather keeps up, I'm not driving to Maine.
If it's good, I think I can go as long as it's not a weekend that
we
I'm
might
working.
go to it if the weather's not bad. Like,
do you know what weekend spot in
I think
Maine?
it's the last weekend of February, first weekend of March.
We'll figure it out.
Is it? Yeah, I forgot what month it was.
It is February currently.
It's February right now. I'm sorry. I just feel like every day is the same. What I said to our friend Tara.
So this would be the last weekend. I'm not working again until the 7th.
Yeah, I think you're probably going to be home. I said she couldn't remember what day it was because we've missed so many days of school/work around here that you lose track. And I said it's snow day. Today is snow day. Tomorrow is snow day. The next day will be snow day. It's always snow day.
That's the one good thing. So yesterday my kids had a 2-hour delay. And I'm glad because, as it is, I think my kids are going to the 20th.
My kids are going to the 20th. Actually, they're talking about possibly canceling April vacation in our district, which would be fine with me. We don't have any plans for that date, and I'd rather have that than have them have to go until the 30th of June. That's so late. Contractually in Massachusetts, the kids cannot go to school any later than the 30th of June.
Oh, really?
Yep. It has to do with their bargaining. So
more so the teachers' union,
right?
Than
that's
the students,
what it is.
Obviously.
It's not the students; it's their employee bargaining. So they have to come up with a way to make up those hours. They only budget in for 5 days of snow days, and I think with this last storm, we went to 6.
We've had 5. Yeah, we've had 5. I know where my brother lives. They've had at least 7. The first snowstorm on Tuesday, they were closed Tuesday and Wednesday. They had a professional day off on that Friday, so the higher B said, "Oh, let's just close Thursday too." Yeah. Well, because you know what? We had such a big snowstorm, we probably weren't thinking that we were going to get another one like that.
As we said before, this is not normal New England weather. Usually our snow is more spread out. We don't usually get hit repeatedly. In fact, I live pretty close to the coastline. I usually don't get this much snow, period. But for whatever reason, this winter it's all focused right over the coastline.
Because it's the ocean effect, they call it.
It's crazy. So, sadly for me, this week my kids have a half day on Wednesday and half day on Friday. Oh, Friday. And next week, that we're already planned.
And next week is February
vacation. And the governor of Massachusetts even said he wished that one of these storms had just happened in February vacation so that it wouldn't have taken any. So
and actually, there was something on the news that a school, and I can't think of what school it was, in Massachusetts is closed. I heard it yesterday, which was Tuesday, was going to be closed until the end of February vacation because they had snow on their roof that had to be removed because it wasn't considered unsafe. So those kids now will probably definitely lose their April vacation.
I wonder about that because
most
a lot of the
schools in our
school
areas
buildings have flat roofs. Somebody asked me if I was worried about my roof collapsing, and the reason that we don't worry about it so much is that most people in New England have peaked roofs so that the snow comes off of them. It doesn't always come all the way off, but it's better than a flat roof is what you really worry about because that weight is just piling up on there and it's not naturally going to fall off. And then my husband and I have a snow rake, which is it looks like a scraper, but it extends so you can scrape your whole roof.
And we have to invest in that. We have a couple of neighbors that we can borrow from, but we have to invest in it. But again, what is really causing the issues in our areas for those peaked roofs is what we call snow dams.
Yeah.
So they melt at the very end of the roof and freeze, and then anything water gets underneath, and that's what causes the leaking in a lot of the roofs that are around here. It's what we call snow dams, and it's not the snow itself, and it's not rain usually.
No, so. And especially for some people, like my neighbors don't have overhang. My roof overhangs by about a foot on all sides of the house, so if it does come through, it tends to come through the bottom of the gutter, and it might run down the outside wall, but doesn't go inside the wall. But we have to make sure the ice doesn't dam up farther than that 1 foot.
And the one thing Cam and I have been talking about, we've been watching, if you look at a lot of the newer houses, there are no gutters. And I think we're going to take ours off because that's what's causing our problem. So we do have an overhang. Well, the problem is our gutter's here and then it's not, and it's coming like this. But if we didn't have a gutter, it would just drip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. We're going to look into that. We're looking into siding this year. We're going to have to finance it, obviously. But we definitely want siding this year. And we'll have to talk to see what the pros and cons.
Yeah, and see what they're willing to do. So, anyway.
That's all for us. Wish us luck with any future snow or future melting for me. Because
let's just hope that this stops. It just, I love winter, but this is too much winter at one time. It needs to back it down a little bit.
And you know what I'm afraid of? If the snow continues like this, I'm afraid of March, because March is when heavy snow comes. It may not last long, but if we get heavy snow with the amounts that we're getting here, which probably isn't going to happen because the reason we're getting 2 feet of snow is because it's light and fluffy. If it was heavier snow, it would probably be condensed to 1 foot, but I'm just concerned of heavy snow.
Yeah, because at some point, all the snow has to go somewhere, and we really want it to evaporate. We really don't want it to melt.
Yeah, spring is not going to be fun this year, I don't think.
Thank goodness I have a hole to the sewer in my street now.
Yeah.
I used to not have connection to the water drainage system.
The way that Cam has done my husband has done all our gutters, we have our gutters, when they work, he has extended pipes out further away from the house. And it's been working out really well. I'm just not looking forward to it.
Our only problem is that our street used to just have a hole with a pit. And once the pit got filled with water, it would just flood our street.
That's what
we don't have that anymore. Now we are attached to the underground water system, and it takes it away from here.
The one thing I'm also glad about, our street address has that. Our driveway is not on our street address, which I am thankful for because we live in a dead end as well. If I had to get through the snow on our street address, I don't think I'd be able to get through it. But because our driveway is more on the main thoroughfare, we're doing good. Thank gosh. On that note, have a good week.
Yep.
Knit with heart. Thanks for watching.
Bye.